Hey guys, this is me, Kevin Murphy, on my channel called Narcissistic Abuse, Learning Who I Am Again. In this video, I'm going to talk about shame after narcissistic abuse. So shame is a form of self-loathing, a form of embarrassment. You feel a sense of sorrow for yourself. You feel like there's parts of you that you hate, like whether it's your personality, whether it's the way you handle certain situations, whether it's the way that you um, respond to things. And shame usually, when you're dealing with shame, you tend to be very melancholy. You tend to have a sense of low self-esteem. So you may hold your head down, you may look away from people, you're not giving appropriate eye contact when you are feeling ashamed of yourself. You start to feel a sense of you start to feel very, very insecure about yourself. You feel very insecure about your accomplishments. So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by shame after narcissistic abuse. So let's say, for example, you're someone who likes to make people laugh, and you have told jokes around your narcissist growing up, and you try to make fun, just try to make fun of yourself, and you're silly, and you try to laugh at yourself, or you try to, just be goofy, and your narcissist tells you, you know what, stop laughing. Stop being so goofy. That's why nobody likes you. That's why nobody wants to be around you. And people are probably like the fact that you're goofy and like the fact that you're silly, but because of the fact that your narcissist has said that you're acting like a fool and nobody likes it when you're goofy and things like that, you stifle that sense of who you are. So you're afraid of being yourself, and the narcissist teaches you how to hate positive attributes about yourself. Another example could be you like writing poetry, you like writing novels, you like being, you have a creative sense of self, and you might have shown your narcissist some of your poetry, or you might have shown your narcissist some of the things that you've written, and they would say, oh, it sucks, or it's no good, you need to not do that anymore, or anything like that. And the narcissist might tell you that other people thinks that your poetry sucks, or other people says that your writing sucks. Now, these people may not have said anything like that. They may have, even if other people have told you that your poetry is amazing, your writing is great, because of what that narcissist says, and because of the fact that you were trained to get the narcissist approval, and you were trained to want the narcissist to love you more and more and more, whatever the narcissist says, you're going to hold that higher than anybody else. So that is how shame is developed in our lives. We might have developed certain interests. We may have developed certain characteristics in our personality, in our individualism. And because the narcissist hates this, the narcissist sees that as a threat, that sees our sense of independence, our sense of speaking out and really exploring who we are as a problem. They're going to put us down. And they know that we're going to take their word for face value. If they say that our poetry sucks, then our poetry sucks. If they say that we're not funny, and other people may say that we're funny, we're going to believe the narcissist over anybody else. So that's what it means to operate in a place of shame. So another example of operating out of a place of shame is, you you start to self-sabotage. You start to believe all of the bad things that the narcissist says about you. So if the narcissist says that you're stupid, or you're a bad student, or you're not going to amount to anything, you're going to start to confirm those things that the narcissist has said about you. You're going to start doing bad in school. You're going to start not following your full potential. And it's not really until you get away from these people, it's not until you finally distance yourself to where you start to figure out really who you are. And the narcissist wants to keep you in a place that's beneath them because they're insecure and they're not happy. So what they try to do is they try to make you unhappy with try to make you unhappy with themselves, with yourself. So when the narcissist tries to when the narcissist tries to do this, it just creates a sense of doubt. So we're constantly looking for other people's validations and looking for other people to tell us that we're okay instead of looking within and knowing for ourselves that we're okay. So when we operate out of a place of shame, we are not living up to our own potential. We are not living up to the person or that God has created us to be. If we fail to do that, then we are confirming and we are proving the narcissist right. Now, I'm not saying that we should change the way that we do things because we're trying to prove the narcissist right. But I'm saying that we should change the way we do things because we want to be able to fulfill our own personal endeavors. So if your personal endeavor is to do really well in school, then do really well in school. Not because you're trying to prove the narcissist wrong, not because you're trying to prove the narcissist that you're not stupid, or you're trying to prove the narcissist that you're worthy of their praise. You're doing this because this is your own personal goal. This is your own personal endeavor. So I'm going to give you another example of my own life. I was a terrible student and I did not do well in school. I hated school, in fact. And I was a horrible student. I was failing school. I wasn't getting good grades. Every time my parents went to parent conferences, I was always getting bad reports from them about not doing my work, not doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And it wasn't until I was a senior in high school when I started to tap into my own potential. I felt like, let me try school. Let me see how this is. Because all my life I've been having people tell me that I'm not going to do well, that I have a learning disorder, I'm stupid, I'm not going to amount to anything. And initially, I started doing well in school because I wanted to prove everybody wrong. And then as time progressed, I started to say, you know what, screw what everybody else thinks. I'm doing this for me. This is my personal endeavor. And now I'm getting a master's degree. I have a straight A average so far in my master's program. I've made dean's list several times when I was in college. I've been in the newspaper for getting good grades and things like that. So when you finally tap into your potential and you start making all of the things that you desire as a personal endeavor instead of trying to prove to the narcissist that you're worthy, that you are not stupid, that you are smart, then you start to feel at peace about your accomplishments. You're no longer trying to win their approval or trying to prove to them that you're smart, that you're great, or anything like that. And that goes for anything else. If your personal endeavor is poetry writing or writing a novel or writing a book or anything like that, make that a goal for yourself. You want to pat yourself on the back. You're not looking for that narcissist to brag about you. You're not looking for that narcissist to tell you that you're great or anything like that, because 9 times out of 10 when the narcissist is bragging about you, they are trying to get gratification for themselves. It's a form of narcissistic supply. They're not bragging on you because they're really proud of you, even though they may say that they're proud of you. They're not doing it because they're proud of you. They're doing it because they want those strokes. They want their egos to be stroked because they feel that they're responsible for the reason why you're doing so well in school. Not because of the fact that you're deciding to work hard. Not because of the fact that, you had made a decision to take responsibility for your education. They think it's all about them, even though they're the ones that told you you wouldn't amount to anything and you're stupid and you're all this other stuff. But when you actually do really well, they want to take all the credit for, all the credit for what your accomplishments and your hard work. Don't let them do that. And so when we are operating out of a place of shame, we don't tap into our own potential. We don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. We become hopeless, and we start feeling very depressed, and we start feeling like life is not worth living. Some of us even may become suicidal because we just feel that our lives are just not worth living. And before you get into that place of hopelessness, just try those things that you desire, that the narcissist said that you couldn't do. And not to try to prove the narcissist wrong, but to say, you know what, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to distance myself from the narcissist, and I'm going to try that poetry writing. I'm going to try to write that novel. I'm going to try to play play that basketball game. I'm going to try to code for a computer science program. Whatever your desire is, try to see what you can do. Because that way, that you don't have that narcissist talking in your head telling you that you can't do it. You know, if it's a strong desire on your heart, then give it a try. See what it is that you can do, and you will be so surprised at what you can do. You'll be so surprised at the accomplishment that you make, and you'll realize that you'll no longer be a part of, you'll no longer be operating out of that place of shame. The same thing with social situations. You may find yourself socially awkward in situations where you have to go out and branch out and things like that. Step out of your comfort zone. Go to a party. Go to a nice place. Practice shaking people by the hand. Practice looking people in the eye when you're talking to them. Practice that sense of confidence, because once you practice that, it'll start to come natural for you. It'll start to be like second nature to you, because you don't have that narcissist in your head telling you that you're insecure, that you have a weak personality, that you're stupid, that you're any of those things. So don't let the narcissist control you, even after no contact or low contact. This is the purpose of going low contact and no contact, is to really tap into your potential, to really experience who you are. And all of the things that you were not able to accomplish with your narcissist, you have the opportunity to accomplish those things now. And once you continue to practice those things, the shame will disappear. You won't feel that sense of shame anymore. So this is a video on shame. Please stay tuned for more videos on narcissistic abuse. My name is Kevin Murphy, and thank you for watching. Bye.